What's up, everybody? This is Morgan Flowerchild of Flowerchild Productions Incorporated, and you are watching Amplified Exposure Live with Teresa B. Let's get it.
Keep shining, let it shine, shine like a diamond. Keep shining, let it shine, shine like a diamond.
What's up, Facebook, Roku, TV land, and all the lands out there? This is your girl, Teresa B, coming to you live and direct from Amplified Exposure Live. Today, I have my wonderful guest, Mr. Ken Powe, the pianist. He is on today, not just because he's that dope pianist that's traveling all around the world with his skills, but he also came on today's show because he likes me.
Right.
So for those of you that are out there in La La Land, TV Land, and all the other lands, listen up. We got a great show coming up with Mr. Powe. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing, Teresa?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks.
Nice to meet you. So let's get right on into the questions because that's what the people are here to listen. And they want to hear about what you got going on. So I heard so much about you traveling around the world and about you playing the piano. Now, what I love the best or the most is I'm also a pianist a little bit.
That's
Yeah.
great. Okay.
Kind of, sort of, like I tinkle.
Yeah.
but I love hearing about musicians' journeys because it's amazing how, how sound can just travel around the world and interest everyone. So I'm sure you've been in some very diverse atmospheres and met a lot of people. So tell us about your journey. When did it all start?
Well, I took music lessons like a lot of kids my age when I was 8 years old. And they had me, I was playing classical music and things like that. And didn't really get into it, until I started playing music that I liked,
Mm-hmm.
and things just kind of took off from there and decided it was so much fun. I made a career out of it and people liked what I was doing and I like playing in front of people and it just kind of took off.
So at 8 years old, so you actually learned how to read notes or do you play by ear?
I do both.
Oh, wow.
And
That's double trouble right there. Wait a minute.
out of necessity because, well, I don't know. I don't even know if they still make sheet music for anymore. But back in the day, they had sheet music for everything. And you talking about $5 a page. Nobody had that kind of money. So, if you wanted to play a song that you wanted to play, you better learn how to do it by ear, to save money. So
Right.
that's how I did. That's how it was.
Right. So did you take your lessons from school or was it private lessons or?
They were private lessons, yes.
Oh, okay. So yeah, my mom had put me in private lessons too for about 3 months. And then she said, you only learned like one song.
Well, I wasn't very good when I was taking lessons either. I don't think anybody is. When you're 8 years old, taking piano lessons, getting teased by your friends, being called this and that.
Yeah. It wasn't very popular back then.
Not cool. Not cool
at all.
But, when you get to be a teenager and, you could play Bach, you could play Chopin and, people like, yeah, whatever. But you start playing Luther Vandross and you start playing Teddy Pendergrass, and then all the girls start paying attention to you.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, you play me some Teddy Pendergrass, I'm be like, woo woo. So I do understand.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it happened.
So for as a teenager, did you play for high school events at all?
Yes, I played for my graduation and everything. Yeah.
Oh wow, what an honor. Okay. So do you remember back then what song you played?
I have no idea. It was some classical piece. I don't know what it was.
You've been playing so long, I'm sure you're like, what, like high school? What?
Yeah.
I don't know your age, so I don't know how long ago it's been. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just gonna keep that quiet. Gonna keep that to myself. But,
well, you look young. It could have been last week. We don't know. I'm just saying.
Or yesterday.
Or yesterday. That's right. So here you are, a teenager. You're playing for your graduation, and then you graduate. And then what? What do you do with your music?
Well, I go to college, and my dorm had a piano in it, a grand piano in it. So the girls loved that. When I would get on it. So I played that a lot, and got pretty good, and started playing for clubs, and started recording, doing things like that, and start getting attention from people in the industry. So it kind of snowballed. I wasn't trying to have a music career because it's really hard to do if you're trying to make it in the industry. And there's a lot of hard times associated with when you're starting out, and I didn't want to go through that.
Right.
I just want a regular job like everybody else, pay the bills, get through life, do my thing. And but music was always there. It was always there for me. And it's the only thing that I've done consistently professionally since I was 16 years old. So it's just happened to be that way.
Okay. So did you find yourself doing like nightclubs or church, or what was your...
All that, whatever paid me, that's what I did. Parties, events, just whatever got me cash.
Okay. Well, that's a good life to lead. I mean, to have a talent, and they say if you have a job that you love, then you're really not working.
That's true. That's true. That's until it becomes a headache.
So at what point of your life did it become a headache for you?
Oh my goodness. Well, I was an A&R exec for a label for a while, and back in the 90s. And I tell you, that's if you love music, don't be a record label exec. Don't do that if you love music, because you have to put up with so much that has nothing to do with music and has more to do with mess. So didn't like that so much.
Yeah, so let's talk about that, because I know I do some stuff with Sony Orchard, and I know that a lot of artists come to me for distribution. And one of the things that is really hard for them is the business side of the industry, because they want to expand their talents, but they don't want to know the business.
That's right.
And so that, that kind of harms them in the long run, because that's how, people kind of take advantage of that particular artist. Right. So tell us about going into a studio, trying to just focus solely on the music, and then bam, you got all this other stuff going on.
Oh my goodness. I I would say very easily that, that I had the hardest time getting along with other musicians. I just, it's just something about that drive me nuts. And
Mhm.
uh, and it could run the gamut from creative differences to egos. You know, I do it this way. This is gonna be done my way, that way, or and try to mitigate all that to get a project done. Yeah, that's a real headache.
Yeah. So how long would it take you just walking in the studio on a Monday, you're trying to create a piece and then you're trying to do all that other stuff along with the combination of other artists. How long do you think it takes you to really finish your final product?
It depends on how many people, how many chefs are in the kitchen. How many people you're working with.
Mhm.
If you're working with a whole lot of people, you get a whole lot of opinions.
Right.
And that makes everything take longer.
Mhm.
And back when I was working with like several different people, oh, it would take weeks just to get one track done. Weeks.
Really?
Yeah, and you're paying the studio, you're paying the engineer all this money, and you know progress is so slow, and I really didn't like that. So later on, when the technology was there, I just started doing everything by myself. you know
Oh wow. So around what because we know technology came in maybe about the 2000s maybe?
Thousands, yeah, something like that. You could do a whole project from beginning to end just on your computer. You didn't need tape. Didn't need a big mixing board. Like
Right.
all these channels. You just sit down there with the computer and do everything and make something really good. So I said, when that technology hit, I said, I need that right there.
Right.
'Cause, that's what these people. No, I don't like that.
I understand. But the only thing about that is the music that we can create now at home. Do we lose the piece that creates our masters? Because I was told through distribution, when we don't do it the old school way, like there's something about our masters that could be taken away from us. Do you know anything about that?
um, well, I've worked with studios who you sign a contract and they own the masters. And that's another thing that I don't particularly like. But of course, studios, they have to make their money too. They don't make a whole lot of money by people like me coming in and paying them by the hour. They make their money other ways too.
Right, right.
And when they get credits on the recording,
Mhm.
you have to you have to give them their cut too. They
Right,
make money that way. And
right.
and if you want your masters, you have to buy it from them.
Wow.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And so when you do it with the computer, when you're doing it by yourself, you don't worry about any of that, none of that at all. So yeah.
Right, right, right. So tell the younger generation how you keep it all together with just yourself, because now you're the musician, you're the producer, you're
Right,
the director,
right.
you're the I mean you have all these hats just by using this
Yeah.
one
I
piece.
I, I even do the graphic design for my covers. So
Oh wow.
yeah, because you do a lot with the app these days. You used to have to outsource, the art for your cover design. You don't even have to do that anymore. So um,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. So tell us what programs do you use if you don't mind me asking. I know sometimes
Yeah.
that's like an ancient Chinese secret from folks. But
Well, I do everything on my desktop Mac, and I record on Apple Logic, and there are also some graphic design programs that you get from the App Store that
right.
are really good. So I get by with those, a lot of times.
Wow. Does it ever get lonely just doing it by yourself?
No, I love it.
You said some people done drove you crazy long enough.
Oh man, oh, I have stories.
I bet you do. I
Yeah,
bet you. I can only imagine. I mean, the little bit of time that I worked with indie artists, especially the young ones that come through, I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't do this. I
right.
cannot do this. So I do understand. So tell us, your being a musician, a pianist, has brought you to several different places in life. Can you name some of the countries or places that you've actually visited?
Well, I go to Europe a lot, and when I was I'm sorry, back in the '90s, in the late '90s, especially, I kind of got a reputation playing with other artists. So, since 2003, I think, I've been doing like, you know, piano concerts and things like that in Germany, Paris,
Hmm.
England, Spain, the Netherlands, places like that, Greece. Yeah.
So, out of all your travels, which was the favorite country to visit?
Germany by far. Yeah.
Really?
Food is great. Have
I
you had the pastries? I mean, my goodness. And then you have, all the beer, like I had to learn to like beer.
well,
So,
I've never been to Germany. What were some of the favorite foods there?
oh yeah, yeah. I like their I I like the Wiener Schnitzel, of course, everybody. Love the sausages,
Mhm.
I love the pastries, there's this soup called this is asparagus soup. It doesn't sound like much, but it's delicious.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
if you go there, just get the asparagus soup, you know.
Well, definitely when I take a trip, I'm going to have to come to you and ask you, where should I go? What should I eat?
Oh, please.
Because yeah, because
Please.
I've never been. But
Yeah,
that's on my bucket list, though. Before I leave this earth,
yeah,
I hope I'm granted a visit to go to at least Germany or Paris. Paris would be really nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, Paris is great, and I, I like going there a lot. Seems like every time I go there and take the river cruise, I get sick. But I'm gonna go on that river cruise anyway, especially at night. When the Eiffel Tower's all lit up. You get to
Wow.
ride on past, Notre Dame Cathedral and everything like that. It's beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. And what are some of your favorite places in the States, in the United States?
Oh yeah, yeah. I spent a lot of time in Atlanta, but I love New Orleans. Of course, again, I go there for the food and the music. Those are two things I go to New Orleans for, and um, and and no place like that. I like New York a lot,
Mhm.
um, and I would say those would be my favorite places of all.
Mhm.
I like
Mhm.
watching baseball, so I like going to some of the more traditional baseball parks. The Fenway, Wrigley, and things like that. Get a real sense of history there. That's
Oh, so you went to Fenway. That's amazing. So I'm originally from Boston.
oh great,
Yeah.
yeah.
And right across the street from Fenway used to be my high school. I went 2 years. Yeah, Latin Academy was right across the street. So we would get half a days every time the Red Sox played. We would
Awesome.
we'd have to leave. But we could actually, if we stayed a little later in the school, we could look over into the ballpark and watch them play. So yeah, I've never actually been to a game.
What?
Been, lived in Boston all my life. Well, not all.
No, you're
Yeah,
right there.
yeah, right there, and never got a chance to go to the game. So That's on my bucket list too, I guess.
Oh, you have to you have to get a Fenway Frank. I'm sorry, if you go to Fenway Park, get that hot dog. The Fenway Frank is famous for that.
Okay, I will definitely do that.
Yeah.
My dad, he's 75. He still goes to the games. Like, he's a diehard. So one day I'm just gonna have to go up there and take him to one of the games because he enjoys himself thoroughly. But yeah, thank you for that information, because when you think about trips and you want to put things together, it's like, where should I go first?
Right.
But I'm thinking about Paris. I need to go to Fenway. That's what I need to do.
Yeah, start with Fenway, work your way to Paris. There you go.
So, what are you doing these days? You said you are in Atlanta. I actually live in Atlanta as well.
Oh yeah, I don't live in Atlanta. I just go there a lot.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you have venues that are regular here.
Yeah. Well, none of the venues asked me to play there yet. But
okay.
But I guess my agent scared them off. When they told him the price. I don't know what's going on there, but you'd have to ask him. My agent's in Atlanta, so
You are funny. Okay.
But,
well,
but yeah, the music scene, oh yeah, and a couple years ago, I started dabbling in acting, and doing some background acting for some of the studios over there, and which is another reason why I go to Atlanta a lot. I was in P Valley, and other shows like that, and did a cameo. If you blink, you miss me, but I was there. I have pictures.
Wow.
And so every now and then I get a casting call and say, maybe I'll go over Atlanta and be in this movie, be in this TV show, just for fun. So I just hop over there and I'll get cast and go over there and start filming.
Okay. Well, you're multi-talented then. Director, producer, musician, and actor.
I don't know about talented now. I don't know if I have any acting talent because, I don't know how much talent it takes to take up space, in on a TV show, because that's all they pay me to do. As background actor, I'm supposed to make the scene look real by taking up space. They tell me to walk this way, I walk that way. Tell me to walk this way, I walk that way. That's all the talent that takes.
Taking up space is very important.
It is. That's the realism.
Hilarious. Well, I really do appreciate you coming on my show today. We've learned a lot. But before I let you go, you must tell the audience what you're doing in the future. Are there any plans? Is there anywhere place they need to come see you? Anywhere? Are you going to be on somebody's album that we need to know about?
Well, I am going back to Germany in August, so I have some private events lined up for me there, and I finished a novel, my first novel last year, and I'm trying to shop that around, and so if that ever gets published, I might self-publish. I don't know. But if that ever gets published, just look for it.
And what's the name of it?
Expiring. It's about an art expert who has 24 hours to live, and he has to decide how to spend the rest of his day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like much, but trust me, if you read it, you're really going to get into it.
I'm sure in 24 hours he can do a lot.
Oh yeah. And if you're an art expert and and you travel the world, and you're famous for your knowledge of art and wine, there's so much possibility there, that people I don't think would normally consider, when you have only one day to live, and
right.
There's so much you haven't done, so much you haven't seen, and
right. Okay. Well, I'll be looking for that book, Expiring. So you're an author with the book Expiring coming out. You hope. Oh, come on. We're going to speak it into existence now.
That's right.
We're going to speak it into existence. We're going to get that book out. and we're going to push it across the world, not just the United States. Because you have the access. You really do have the tools to do whatever you want to do in life. So kudos to you. Then producer, director, actor, musician. What else did I miss?
Well, you kind of left out what actually pays the bills, because none of that really pays any bills for real, you know.
Okay.
But, my day job, as you can say, I'm a business consultant. So, you know.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Business consultant. What do you consult? Like, how does that work?
I have a referral business, and I help small businesses start up, or I help them expand, you know, and help them find capital, get money, and you know,
wow,
plan the business and things like that. So, you know, yeah, it's a referral only business. So, you know, it's not like I advertise it or anything like that. Yeah.
Okay. We must speak off camera about that.
Okay.
Well, congratulations on all your success. I'm really honored and privileged to meet you today. I thank you so much for coming on my show. I thank you for telling us about all of the wonderful things that you have going on in your life. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the audience before we leave?
Well, I would like to thank everyone for, you know, making my project such a huge success. You know, if you know my music, if you heard my music, it's because of you that I'm still doing this, you know. So, you know, I would just want to express my appreciation to everyone out there who's listening to me, who supported me all these years, you know. And if this is your first time hearing about me, you know, just go out and check me out, you know, see if you like it.
That's right. Check him out. His name is Ken Powe, and he is the dopest pianist we know.
How many do you know?
I don't know many. I don't know many. That's the truth right there.
Okay.
But I'm glad to know you. So I appreciate you coming on my show today. Wave to the audience. Goodbye. Give him the peace sign.
Goodbye. Peace.
See y'all later.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Right.
All right. Let's see.